on the terms of the rescue package. My European counterparts, some of them at least, said, "You can't do this. There will be havoc in the markets." Again, I said we need to, before we restore confidence in the markets, we need to restore confidence and trust amongst our people. Since leaving office, I have had time to reflect. We have weathered the storm in Greece and in Europe, but we remain challenged. If politics is the power to imagine and use our potential, well then 60% youth unemployment in Greece and in other countries certainly is a lack of imagination, if not a lack of compassion. So far we've thrown economics at the problem, actually mostly austerity, and certainly we could have designed alternatives, a different strategy, a green stimulus for green jobs, or mutualized debt, Eurobonds, which would support countries in need from market pressures. These would have been much more viable alternatives. Yet I have come to believe that the problem is not so much one of economics as it is one of democracy. So let's try something else. Let's see how we can bring people back to the process. Let's throw democracy at the problem. Again, the ancient Greeks, with all their shortcomings, believed in the wisdom of the crowd at their best moments. In people we trust. Democracy could not work without the citizens deliberating, debating, taking on public responsibilities for public affairs. Average citizens often were chosen for citizen juries to decide on critical matters of the day. Science, theater, research, philosophy, games of the mind and the body, they were daily exercises. Actually, they were an education for participation, for the potential, for growing the potential of our citizens. And those who shunned politics, well, they were idiots. You see, in ancient Greece, in ancient Athens, that term originated there. Idiot comes from the root idio, oneself. Person who is self-centered, secluded, excluded, someone who doesn't participate or even examine public affairs. And participation took place in the agora having two meanings, both a marketplace and a place where there was political deliberation. You see, markets and politics then were one, unified, accessible, transparent, because they gave power to the people. They served the demos, democracy. Above government, above markets, was the direct rule of the people. Today we have globalized the markets, but we have not globalized our democratic institutions. So our politicians are limited to local politics, while our citizens, even though they see a great potential, are prey to forces beyond their control. So how then do we reunite the two halves of the agora? How do we democratize globalization? And I'm not talking about the necessary reforms of the United Nations or the G20. I'm talking about how do we secure the space, the demos, the platform of values, so that we can tap into all of your potential. Well, this is exactly where I think Europe fits in. Europe, despite its recent failures, is the world's most successful cross-border peace experiment. So let's see if it can't be an experiment in global democracy, a new kind of democracy. Let's see if we can't design a European agora, not simply for produce and services, but for our citizens, where they can work together, deliberate, learn from each other, exchange between art and cultures.